A few weeks ago, I was in Tamasopo, Mexico, which is a great place with a lot of waterfalls. I didn't bring my camera with me because we spent most of our time in the water. So instead, I carried my GoPro and I took a lot of videos. But from time to time, there were places I wanted to photograph, so I used my old GoPro 8 for that. The pictures I took were fine, but I wanted to edit them a little bit before sharing them with my friend on Instagram. So I didn't have my computer with me, so using Darktable was not an option. A few years ago, I would have used Snapseed on my phone to edit these pictures. Since then, I went loco and I'm using Linux on my computer, Graphene OS on my phone, and I use open source software everywhere I can. So using Snapseed was not an option. Because of that, I decided to try a few open source mobile photo editors to see if one of them could get the job done. So if you are also looking for an open source alternative to Snapseed, stick around. I don't need fancy features when editing pictures on my phone, so I just want the basic like exposure, contrast, saturation, and white balance. I also want tools like cropping and rotation. And for rotation, I don't just want the 90-degree turn, I need to be able to adjust a few degrees just to correct the horizon. And as a nice to have, I would like tools like shortening, texture, and highlight shadow. That's it. So no masking, no wavelet, just the basic. One of the best software I found to replace Snapseed is Sly. It's available on Android and iOS, but it's also available on Linux, macOS, and Windows. For this video, we will focus on the Android version I installed on my phone. The user interface is nice, so when you start the application, you're prompted to select the picture you want to edit. Once selected, you're taken to the darkroom where you can do your edit. On the top half, you have your picture, and you can double-click on it to make it full screen. You can also use two fingers to zoom in and zoom out, so very convenient. In the bottom half, you have all the slider, and at the very bottom, you have the tabs to move between sections. The first tab is light, and that's where you find all modules related to exposure. So as you can see, we have exposure and contrast, which are two modules I wanted. But what is missing are highlight and shadow. So perhaps we can get the same result with the remaining sliders, but I doubt it will be as straightforward as using highlight shadow. The second tab is color, and there we have saturation, temperature, and tint. So for me, this is perfect as I wanted to adjust for saturation and white balance. So there is nothing more to say, this tab is perfect for me. Next, we have the effect tab. So there we have sharpness, which is something I wanted. So we also have some nice tools like noise reduction, vignette, and border. I like to add vignettes to my landscape photos, so I appreciate this module. Also, I rarely post picture with borders, but sometimes I enable it while editing as the white border gives me a reference for exposure. Next, we have the crop tool. So there we have everything we expect, but not everything I want. So you can select the aspect ratio and then crop your image. You can also flip your image vertically and horizontally. You can also rotate, but unfortunately, there isn't an option to adjust the horizon by a few degrees. So the only option is to move it 90 degrees. Overall, this is a great software, and except for the correct horizon module, it has everything I want. The good news is that when I look at the GitHub, I saw that the rotate crop is in the roadmap. So in the near future, Sly should have all the features I need. It also misses the highlight and shadow module, but this is not mandatory for me. So that's it for me. If you give Sly a shot, let me know what you think. Also, if you know other alternatives to Snapseed, let me know in the comments. See you next time.